Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Weaver. I grew up on and off and on a farm in the Sprout State Forest near Keating, Pennsylvania. Well, in between Keating and Renova, Pennsylvania. My grandparents' farm, we grew some of the biggest pumpkins in Pennsylvania. I've also had some paranormal experiences there that I can't quite explain, and that's what I'm going to discuss today. So, when I was 5, my mom and dad got divorced, and we moved to my grandparents' farm. And on and off, when my mom was working or whatever, I would spend a lot of time there. Well, one day, whenever I was there, I get done eating lunch before everybody else leaves the house after everything's done. I run outside and fall off a pavement like a pavement driveway or um, balcony and into the grass, and I fall face first in front of like a 200-pound snapping turtle that where the hell did it come from? You know what I mean? Like, how? Where has this been? And what the fuck? You know? Sorry, but and then and going fishing throughout the years, pulling fish out of streams where there shouldn't be any fish. Um, Deer that are massive. There's been 400, not a 900-pound black bear pulled out of this forest. Um, but when I was about 16, me and my ex-girlfriend go camping there on my grandparents' farm right along the Susquehanna River. And right around like 12:30, between 12:30 and 2:30 in the morning, we start hearing like loud bangs that get closer and closer, like a giant would be, a giant's footsteps, stepping over actual mountains that just get closer and closer. But like I know what a bird bang sounds like. I know what like a train linking up, and like those are the only two things in that area that would have been making that type of vibration in the ground and that type of noise that vibrates the ground. But it was loud, like blood curdling, like ground shaking booms. And I understand that there was fracking and stuff like that that could have been going on out there at the time, but it scared the holy fuck out of me and my girlfriend. We jump up out of the tent. We run to the golf cart that's sitting like right outside the tent, and we rip off out from through the fields and back to the house. Get in the vehicle and we drive off. Like we leave that night. Like there's no way we were staying. Well, she would definitely wasn't staying there, and I didn't feel like I felt like I was being hunted or something. It was weird. But a couple years later, when I was like 19, 20, my son's mother's family has a couple pieces of property. They're in this cove that border the Sprout State Forest and that area. And I was sitting on the back porch one night and I see this saucer come up over the mountains, up over the valley's edge, and just kind of like go to get somebody to tell them, and it kind of just like is gone when I turn around to look. So I believe that there's some type of paranormal or extra, terrestrial or interterrestrial or whatever you want to call it that is going on out there. Or there's some type of primordial like soup that is like brewing out in that area that has not been, discovered or, understood yet, because I sure as hell don't understand how these things are happening in this triangle around my grandparents' farm. I know there were Native Americans that utilized these lands for hunting and whatever else. We find all kinds of clay and stone and, you know, flint arrowheads, all kinds of stuff in those fields. So who knows? But if you guys are interested in hearing anything else about my life and experiences on this farm, I'm happy to share them. I have a bleeding. I was born with a bleeding disorder, factor IX deficient hemophiliac, which has caused me to have degenerative disc disease, hemarthrosis, and an extensive list of medical complications that, because of me being poor, I'm not able to take care of appropriately, which limits my ability to study the things that I want to, research the things that I need to, and develop the theories and, um, and legal information that I need to get ahead in life. Right now, I'm trying to file for a pardon for my extracurricular activities when I was younger. I'm in recovery, and I'm trying to build a life for myself and give back to the community that I've I'm no longer a part of, but try to contribute to. Um, you guys have a nice day.